Have you ever wondered why the water of the oceans present on the Earth does not fall into space despite the Earth being round, and why we do not feel its rotation despite the Earth rotating? These questions may sound very basic and simple, but the answers to these will blow your mind. In today's video, we are going to answer such questions related to the Earth. What is under the Earth? This question can have two different meanings. The first meaning is that what is under the Earth's land, which is called crust in scientific language. Most of you must already know the answer to this question. The Earth is divided into different parts from inside, which are called inner layers. We humans live on a layer called crust, which is considered to be the most solid and strong. The temperature of all the layers present under the crust is very high, and it is very difficult for us to reach them practically. There is a layer called inner core at the center of the Earth. There is a layer whose temperature will blow your mind. The temperature of this layer, made of iron and nickel, is around 5,000 to 5,500 degrees Celsius, which is equal to the temperature of the Sun. In earlier times, people believed that the interior of the Earth is completely made of water. This was because they did not have the proper scientific technology to know the inner part of the Earth. Today, through many studies and research, we can prove which elements are present inside the Earth and what is their temperature. The Kola Super Deep Borehole. Now, some of you curious people might be wondering what will happen if we try to reach the inner core by digging the Earth. Well, for your information, let me tell you that this has already been done in the past. There is a pit named Kola Super Deep Borehole in Russia, which is the deepest hole made by humans till date. This is the deepest pit. You will be surprised to know that the depth of this pit is 12,262 meters, which is much more than any other artificial pit. The digging of this pit was stopped in the year 1989 because it was becoming very difficult for the workers to work at such a depth. Russian scientists say that when we go 12 kilometers below the surface, the temperature increases so much that it becomes impossible to bear it. What if the digging of this hole had never stopped? But what would have happened if the digging of this pit was never stopped? Can one go out of the Earth into space in this way? Well, if the Kola Super Deep Borehole was dug till the end, then the laborers and workers would have to pass through the inner core with a temperature of 5,500 degrees Celsius. Although this is not possible, but to understand the concept, let us assume that after crossing the inner core, they would go back to the outer core and metal. While traveling, we reach the surface of the Earth, that is, the crust. This is because our Earth is round. If we start digging from any point of the Earth, then in the end we will reach just opposite side of that point. That is, if you start digging in South India, then after crossing the inner core, you will reach some area of North America. This sounds as interesting as it is in reality. The second question is equally interesting. This was the first question: what is there below the surface of the Earth? Let us now know about the second question, which is what is there below the Earth, that is, on what is it resting? Myth. It is told in Hindu religious texts that our Earth rests on the head of Sheshnag. We all know that this is not the real truth. Any kind of living being will need oxygen to survive in space, which is almost non-existent there. Apart from this, the body of any snake will not be able to survive. It is also impossible to live for 4.6 billion years. If you believe in religion, then to respect it, you can believe in this too. But for your information, let me tell you that the most correct explanation of this whole concept has been given only by science. In the 20th century, there were many missions in which many people got the opportunity to go to space. Not only this, space agencies also sent many spacecrafts into space which took pictures of the Earth. You can see some of those pictures on your screen. Can you see anything below the Earth in any of these pictures? The simple answer is no, there is nothing below the Earth, there is only empty space. Now, perhaps this question may come to your mind that if there is nothing below the Earth, then how is it standing at one place? The simple reason is the gravitational force of the Sun. The Earth revolves around the Sun at a speed of 30 kilometers per second, which keeps its orbit stable. We cannot see the gravitational force of the Sun, but we can definitely detect it. Every object in the solar system is held in place due to this gravitational force. If you try to go below the Earth, you will find only empty space. However, after walking for a very long time, You will start seeing some stars and galaxies which are located at a distance of millions of light years from the Earth. Why does the Earth rotate and revolve? Why does the Earth rotate on its axis and why does it revolve around the Sun? This question may sound very simple, but its answer is very interesting. Many of you believe that it may be that the Earth revolves around the Sun due to gravitational force, which is absolutely correct, but our question is a little deeper than this. Why did our Earth start revolving around the Sun? To know the answer to this question, we will have to go to the early times of the solar system. The early solar system. Our solar system started 4.6 billion years ago. At that time, in place of the solar system, there used to be a very large cloud made of dust and gas, which scientists today call the solar nebula. Due to gravity, some activities were taking place in the center of this solar nebula, which later on was going to be the reason for the formation of our Sun. Due to the high gravity of the center, gradually matter started collecting there and the density of the center of that cloud started increasing. To conserve the angular momentum, the center of the cloud started rotating on its own axis. Momentum, if you don't know, then let me tell you that angular momentum is the momentum of any rotating object. As the mass of an object increases but its radius decreases, the rotation speed of that object starts increasing. In the video shown on the screen, you can see a ballerina dancer performing ballet dance. The thing to note is that when the ballerina folds her hands inwards, her speed suddenly increases, whereas when she takes her hands out a little, her rotational speed starts decreasing. This thing is called angular momentum. The final region of the Earth's revolution around the Sun due to the accumulation of matter in the center of the solar nebula, its mass was also increasing. There came a time when its center started rotating, as a result of which the whole cloud started rotating. Solar nebula, in future the center of the planetary disk, converted into our Sun and the cloud around it became a planetary disk. In simple words, a planetary disk is the area around a star where planets are formed. A few million years after the formation of the Sun, the formation of our Earth also began. The dust and gas present in the planetary disk began to gather together due to gravity and began to form huge balls. One of these huge balls was our Earth. Now, because it was formed from a revolving planetary disk, it also began to revolve around the Sun until David is revolving around the Sun in the same way. So, for this reason, our Earth revolves around the Sun once every 365 days. The real region of Earth's rotation. So, we talked about revolution. Let us now know why the Earth rotates on its axis. Well, I have already told you the reason for this. The Earth was also formed in a similar way as the Sun was formed. That is, the Earth started revolving around its axis due to angular momentum. Newton had stated in his first law that if an object is at rest or in motion, it will always remain like that. The only condition is that no external force is applied on it. When you kick a football, it rolls on the ground and eventually stops. This happens because friction force is being applied on that ball, which gradually brings its speed to zero. But no such force is applied in space, due to which planets keep rotating for billions of years. Why don't we feel the Earth is moving? We have come to know that why our Earth rotates and revolves, but have you ever thought that why we don't feel this motion? The Earth is moving in space at a speed of 30 kilometers per second, but despite moving so fast, we don't feel even a little bit of its speed. We can't guess why this is so. The answer is very simple. We are not able to notice the rotation and revolution of the Earth because it is constant. Let us understand this through a thought experiment. A thought experiment. Suppose you are sitting in a bus which is moving on a very smooth road. The windows of that bus are covered with curtains and you do not have any way to know that it is moving. In such a situation, if you are not informed that the bus is moving, then you will never be able to find out that you are in a moving bus. But what if the brake is applied to slow down the speed of that bus or the accelerator is pressed to speed up, then you will feel small shocks which will let you know that you are inside a bus. The final meaning of this whole thing is that when something is moving at a constant speed, then the speed of the bus is constant. If the Earth revolves around the Sun at a constant speed, it becomes almost impossible to find out its motion. Something similar happens with our Earth as well. The Earth revolves around the Sun at a constant speed, due to which we are not able to know about its revolution. Something similar happens in the case of rotation as well. The Earth is rotating on its axis at a constant speed, and in such a situation it is very difficult to find out about its rotation. Proofs of rotation in everyday life. However, there are many ways through which we come to know that our Earth is rotating. Its best example is the process of day and night. Day and night occur on our Earth because the Earth is rotating on its axis. The part of the Earth which is in front of the Sun has day, and the part which is behind the Sun is night. The part between these two parts is called the terminator line, and it is evening there, that is, neither day nor night, but the time between these two. If the Earth is round, then why does the water present in its lower part not fall into space? This question is very interesting, and a few years ago, many videos related to this also went viral on the internet. The simple answer to this question is gravity, the escape velocity. The gravitational force of our Earth tries to pull the things present on it closer to the center. If you want to get out of this gravitational clutch, then you will have to move upwards at a speed of at least 11.4 kilometers per second. Whenever a rocket or spacecraft is launched into space, its speed is kept more than 11.4 kilometers. So that there is no problem in getting out of the Earth. This thing is called escape velocity in the language of science. An interesting thing. The seas present on the Earth are stuck to its surface due to which a very heavy amount of gravitational force is applied on them. Due to this gravitational force, this water does not fall into space. In the picture on the screen, you can see the country of Australia, which is present in the lower part of the Earth. You will be surprised to know that for the people present in North America, the world of Australia is physically opposite. The people present in North America stand on the Earth in this way, while in the case of Australia it is exactly the opposite. It may sound unbelievable, but this is the truth of gravity. The gravity of the Earth binds everything to itself, due to which no thing can go into space on its own. So these were some such questions whose answers many people are very curious to know. I hope that after watching this video, you might have got some new information. By the way, which question did you find most interesting out of all these questions? Do tell us by commenting below. That's all for today's video. Thank you.